The title of this podcast is The First Four Shots in Pickleball and in Life. My friend Joseph, who is a very good pickleball player, and as good as he is a pickleball player, he's an even better human being. He is one of the kindest, most thoughtful guys that you can meet. People love being around him. They love being on the pickleball court with him. He just elevates everybody. He's an inspiration to me at both at work, outside of work, and on the court. And one thing that he told me when we get ready for a drill, he said, Keith, I'd like to drill with you. I was like, great, let's drill. And he said, I asked him, what would he like to work on? He's like, I like to work on the first four shots that are taken in a pickleball match, in a game. And I said, great. And I said, why those four? And he said, because that's where 77%, almost 80% of points are won or lost. If you become good at those first four shots, your chances of being successful throughout the game goes up exponentially. And I thought about that because I've heard that before, but I haven't really practiced it. It's like once the game starts, I completely forget and I'm trying to hit winners every time. And I think that's the same thing that happens in life. People go to seminars, they read something, it teaches them to be peaceful, to be thoughtful, to take a moment of reflection, to gather themselves before sending out an email or responding to a loved one or dealing with something with your children. It tells you to take a moment to pause, right? To make sure that those first four shots of that interaction are going to be thought through. And but the minute that you get in those situations with your significant other, with a coworker, with a stranger, you forget all of that, right? You walk out of church on Sunday, the next thing you know, you're yelling at the neighbor, something's wrong. I mean, like the driver in the other car, it just happens and you forget. And the same thing happened to me on the pickleball court. So with him, with Joseph's recommendation, that's what we worked on the first four. And the game became much more simple when I was able to focus on what was right in front of me, not the whole game. Like I'm just focused on this moment, this shot, and my footwork correct? Is my paddle out to where it should be? Am I tracking the ball? Am I communicating with my partner? Those are some of the first four shots that you take in a pickleball match and also in life. And so I really made it a focus in my game to start to do that. Now, after we had that drill session 3 weeks ago, it was top of mind, but I would sometimes go through a couple of points and like, why did we lose that point? And I forgot to focus on those first four. And now what I've realized is focusing on the first four requires practice. Surprise. It all requires practice. I mean, it's not expected or shouldn't be expected that I would have the awareness or the consciousness to be able to do it immediately after having one drilling session. Just like you get bad news or you get news that it's undesirable, that you'll be able to handle it right off the bat. No, that takes practice, and the same thing here. So I've been really focused on the first four shots, on my serve, on or my return, my drop shot or my drive on the third shot, my reset on the fourth shot. Like what I'm working and thinking about all of those things now in ways that I didn't before. When I come into a space where people that I don't know, I'm checking myself, like, will I like put down my devices, be present to the space that I'm coming into. As I come into this space, I'm not here to take one thing. I'm only here to give, to lift. And that may mean listening. That may mean contributing a thought or an idea. It may mean giving respectful and thoughtful feedback. Whatever it is, or maybe just to serve. Like I'm there just to, pick up after everyone, pass out water bottles, ask anybody what they need. But I'm thinking about what are my first four shots going to be when I enter this space, when I get home. Am I coming in watching what people did do and didn't do, comparing their day to mine, wondering whether or not anybody's going to ask me about my day or make me feel valued and loved? That's one way to come into the house. Another way to come into your home is to come in peaceful with a spirit of gratitude, to not require them to be a certain way, but having a standard of in which you're going to show up in a certain way and contribute and a give to that space. That's a whole different way to play this thing called life, to move through it. So I encourage you to really work on the first four shots.